You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
Welcome to the Hot Options Report, your premier source for insight into the fast-moving options market. Each day, we'll track down the products that are dominating the options chains and impacting your trading account, from Nvidia to VIX and everything in between. If it's lighting up the options tape, then you'll find it on the Hot Options Report.
All right, everybody, that music means it is time for the Hot Options Report for Wednesday, January 7th. My name, of course, Mark Longo from theoptionsinsider.com, as well as from the network upon which all of you folks are binging. Yes, it is time for Thor Odinson, aka the Hot Options Report. Let's see what was lighting up the tape out there today, shall we? Was it a hot day, a banger day, midweek of this first full trading week of the new year, listeners? The answer was no. 492,000 contracts is all it cost you to break into the top 10 today. That gets us to our old pal Microsoft. Microsoft looking a wee bit bigger today, up a little over $5 or about 1%, closing 483.64 today. And the hot option in good old Softy today, 15,000 of the 485 calls. Average price for these, about $3.60. So again, 485 got up to nearly 490 today. So these were looking pretty good earlier in the session. Not as great right now, I should say, but you got a few more days left in the week. Can Microsoft continue its climb? As we continue our climb up to the number 9 spot, it's our old pal AMD putting up 529,000 contracts. AMD selling off yet again today, closing 210 pretty much exactly, off about 4 1/3 or 2% today. And again, putting up 529,000 contracts for the number 9 spot. The hot option in AMD today, 26,000 of the 210s. Average price for these, about $3.21. So these are exactly at the money options. You think AMD has a little more upside in it, then maybe you like these. Otherwise, you're saying sold to you as we keep climbing to number 8, listeners. It's our old pal Alphabet Class A, the artist formerly known as Google. Hot day for them today as well, closing 322, pretty much exactly up nearly $8 or about 2.5%. Good for 649,000 contracts. And the number 8 spot, the hot option in Alphabet today, 56,000 of the 430s, but not expiring this Friday, not expiring in January, even February or March or April or May. These are the June 430s. Average price for these, $5.24. So 430 by June expiration, listeners. And that's quite a climb. You could argue it's doable. Alphabet has made some impressive moves in the past, but you like those? Or are you screaming sold to you? Let us know, listeners, as we keep climbing to number 7, another name that was climbing today. This is Palantir. Palantir closing 181.68, up almost $2 or a little over 1% today, putting up 737,000 contracts for the number 7 spot. So it didn't cost you much to break in today, but number 7, over 700,000 contracts. That's decent volume. As we look at what was the hot option in Palantir today, 48,000 of the 190s, listeners. So average price for these, about 79 cents. 190s expiring at the end of the week. Now Palantir got up to about 187.25 intraday. So these are obviously looking a lot better earlier in the session than they are now. But you think we can get there, then maybe you like these for 80 cents or for whatever they're trading for right now, listeners, as we keep climbing to the number 6 spot. Another name that was climbing a little bit today. This is good old Strategy, aka MSTR, popping almost $4 or almost 2.5%, closing 161.83 today, putting up 774,000 contracts For the number 6 spot, again, number 6 already at about 750,000 contracts. That's not bad, listeners, for the first full trading week of the year. What was the hot option in the monster today? It was 50,000 of the 167.5 calls. Average price for these, 3.25. These are expiring at the end of the week. Now, strategy did flirt with 170 earlier in the session, ever so briefly. So, once again, these were looking a lot better earlier in the session than they are after the close. As we keep climbing to another name that hasn't been looking that great this week, it's the fruit company. Apple selling off $2, again, pretty much exactly, closing 260.35, off about 0.75%, putting up 906,000 contracts. For the number 5 spot, the hot option in Apple today, 46,000 of the 262.5 calls. Average price for these, $1.71. Looks like paper might have been hitting the bid on these. This was opening flow, so perhaps you like these better as an overwrite as well, listeners. As we keep climbing to the number 4 spot, it's our old pal Amazon. Amazon closing today up about 69 cents, closing 241.62, putting up 938,000 contracts. For the number 4 spot, the hot option in Amazon today, 91, almost 92,000 of the 245s. Average price for these, $1.72. Once again, we got there intraday, got up to 245.29, so these were in the money ever so briefly. Again, average price of $1.72. It's like paper might have been selling these as well. This was opening flow as well. So once again, maybe you like these better as an overwrite. Certainly looking better that way towards the end of the day. As we keep climbing to number 3, listeners, Intel having a hot day out there today, rallying $2.59 or about 6.5%, closing 42.63, putting up 1.28 million contracts. This is the hottest day volume-wise we've seen in Intel in quite some time. The hot option on a hot day in Intel, 74,000 of the 46 calls expiring on Friday. Average price for these, about 27 cents. Intel threatened that earlier this morning, got up to about 44.5, 44.60. So obviously the 46 is looking a lot better at that level than they do where we closed out at the end of the day. But maybe you think there's still some life in this name, in which case maybe you like some 46s expiring at the end of the week. As we keep climbing to the number 2 spot, listeners, it's Tesla, a name that's had a hard time climbing this week, selling off a little bit again today, off about $1.50. Closing 431.40, listeners, putting up 1.64 million contracts. For the number 2 spot today, the hot option in Tesla today, 80,000. Once again, we're going to the dark side. 80,000 of the 435 puts. Average price for these, $5.51. These are in the money puts now, so we did sell off right towards the end of the session, listeners. So maybe someone left holding the bag, because it does seem like someone was selling these open in paper on these bad boys. So maybe you like these drawing a line in the sand at the 435 strike, in which case looks like someone did that for about $5.50. Will that line hold, or will we break through it, listeners? We will find out later on in the week. But now it's time to find out what is the number 1 hot option today. Of course, we're going out to Nvidia again. Nvidia rallying again. 189.18, up nearly $2 or about 1%. Putting up 1.9 million contracts for the number 1 spot. Kind of a light day volume-wise for Nvidia today. The hot option in Nvidia, though, 166,000 of the 190s. So slightly out of the money calls. Average price for these, $2.08. This was opening. These are expiring on Friday. So you think Nvidia has enough momentum to carry us through this strike? Or are you a seller of these? In which case, you might have to grit your teeth a little bit, but might pocket that $2.08. Which way are you going, listeners? Hit us up. Let us know. That is going to do it for us on the Hot Options Report for today. Remember, if you want to see any more of this data and a whole bunch we don't have time to get to, the HotOptionsReport.com is the place to go to kick the tires and light the fires. Tell Nick we sent you. He'll be very glad to hear from you. Back again tomorrow. If you like this kind of flow, we break down a lot of it on the option block. We'll be doing that tomorrow with our buddy, the Flow Master. as well as This Week in Futures Options, before we're back again after the closing bell, another episode of the Hot Options Report. Stay safe out there, everybody.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.